Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Terry TV. How are you? In the news today, the Academy Awards were yesterday, Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific. How many of you caught it? Because with daylight savings time, on top of them starting an hour earlier, many were disappointed, weren't they? I'm not saying that's you, but many were disappointed because they were tuning in at 5 only to find out that the show had been going on for an hour. Luckily, in today's world with daylight savings time, and please post in the comments if you have an opinion on this. I'd love to hear it. Daylight savings time is, I don't know that it hits as hard as it used to because you don't have to run around and change all your clocks because they automatically change. Your phone changes, your computer changes, everybody whoop, 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 all changes automatically. You just kind of got to wake up. So it's nice that it's on Sunday because many of you can set your alarm the night before, knowing that your clock will make sure that you have the proper time and you can get off to church or sleep in or whatever. But the point is, I don't know. I think it is I think it's easier. You let me know if you think it's not easier or whatever. But the Academy Awards, this is one of the things that many people talked about was 4 o'clock. What? But indeed, 4 o'clock. It is my Super Bowl. So it is something I cannot miss. And I got a little panicked because I don't have cable. I don't have Direct or Dish or any of these things. I straight stream. We strictly stream. Strictly stream. I didn't introduce myself. I'm Terri Hardin, Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer, pop icon, and all around crazy person, I guess. Fun, upbeat person 99.9% of the time. Yeah. Did Ghostbusters, Men in Black, but many of the movies that you love, I have done many of them, and surprised at how many I have done. And was just speaking with a friend of mine, Robert Short, Bob Short, as I know him, and we said Splash is 40 years old. What? 40 years old. Splash is very significant to me because if you've seen my studio, I have a mermaid tail, and Bob Short and Splash were both responsible for me getting excited, making a mermaid tail, and then swimming probably across the country with it just about. Now, I didn't actually swim, but I went all over playing a mermaid. I was a mermaid in Vegas. I was the study model for The Little Mermaid, Disney. I swam in Catalina Island to sell underwater cameras. I was a mermaid in Houston for the Houston Symphony Orchestra. So I got a lot of mileage out of my mermaid tail. See how I said that? And Splash is 40. I was like, oh! Because when I saw Splash, I absolutely flipped out. I was so excited to see Daryl Hannah as a mermaid and to see that she didn't have trouble sinking into the underwater areas, before this particular material that the mermaid tail was made out of for Daryl to wear as the mermaid. They used latex, and unfortunately, latex has too many air bubbles. So if you wanted to do a sea creature, it was challenging because either the latex absorbed the water so much that it was too heavy to operate below, or it floated. So it was very hard to do things if you use latex as your material to make whatever you're going to make. So along comes Splash, and I'm watching it in the theaters, and I lose my mind because I can see that she is definitely deep in the water and she's not having buoyancy problems. So Ghostbusters, while I was working on Ghostbusters, and I know this is kind of a roundabout way to the Academy Awards, but stay with me, folks. Ghostbusters, I was on set with Ghostbusters when I found out Bob Short was working on Ghostbusters, which was also next door to 2010, the sequel to 2001. And I went up and spoke with him, and we talked at length about the mermaid tail. And then I went back and built one, made one for me to swim in. Yes, which you can see over my shoulder when I'm in my studio. Right now, I did not exit into my studio because I have a lot to do today and just couldn't. And my studio is still torn apart. I'm tearing things apart and putting things together to be more organized. And also, I'm rebuilding the garage to be sort of a I don't want to say a dirty shop, meaning, you know, where you've got the noise going and the saws. I do have my bandsaw and my drill press and my lathe and my blah 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 blah, right? And it's going to be the place where we paint. However, we'll probably have the garage door up and we'll paint onto the, you know, the area beyond the garage so we don't get asphyxiated. It is sort of the place where carving and things like that will be happening. And then my clay studio, my paint will be inside my actual studio. So I am working on that in between doing escrow for my dad's. I am administrator of my dad's estate. My dad passed away in September of last year, and I am the administrator. So that is the adult stuff that just makes me loopy. Loopy. Because being an artist, I'd rather be doing my art stuff, but there's time when you may find you have to be the adult in the room. And just all I can say to you guys, if you're an artist and adult stuff doesn't come easy to you, math, numbers, keeping track of the documents, keeping track of spending and all that kind of stuff. If that becomes a little challenging for you as an artist, just one foot in front of the other. Yeah, one foot in front of the other is basically all I can really tell you to do, because it's exhausting, and you just got to love yourself and be kind to yourself and talk to your friends and look for things that are diversions, which is my Super Bowl, better known as the Academy Awards. The Academy Awards are something I have watched every single year since I was 3 years old. Love the Academy Awards. Don't watch a lot of other shows. I do take a peek at the SAG Awards because I am a screen actor. So, you know, you want to watch shows which you have voted on and you want to support it because people should be able to see the people give speeches amongst their peers, which is actors. So I support that show. But the show that flips me over the back of my chair is the Academy Awards. Good or bad. I love the Academy Awards. I don't care if they're good or bad. I'm there for the speeches. And that's what brings me back and back and back and back, is to watch people that I loved in the films that I adore win. And this year, we all know that if you were doing a ballot, it was pretty easy to fill out, wasn't it? With the exception of Best Actress. Yes, indeed. I was delighted to see the Academy go with someone else. No offense to Lily. I loved Lily in Killers of the Flower Moon. But I have to tell you, she was really the only person I loved. I wasn't impressed with DiCaprio at all. And I did not like De Niro. No. Did not like either one of them. I felt that a lot of the performances were not their best. And I tend to, when I vote, and I'm not an official Academy member, so I'm not voting, but when I vote for SAG, I look at the performer and I look at their body of work and what chasms did they have to cross? What things did they have to do in order to make that performance really rich and special? And this was the year of several people working out of their normal box. Robert Downey Jr., who we know his history, we know his background, and if we don't, he's happy to share it with us, which I thought his speech was very, very refreshing. But he's been through it. And I mean, if you are someone who is going through stuff, just take a look at Robert Downey Jr. He was messed up. And when he was given the opportunity or presented to the people who were making, the producers of Iron Man, they all went, oh, no, 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 because he had been on productions and the insurance people got in a bind because there's no other way to say it, he messed up. So when it came to Iron Man, they had difficulty insuring him. But this time he was told, last chance, buddy. And he really brought it. We all know he brought it. And from this day forward, he's been killing it. He's been doing some great stuff. So to see his body of work, I felt very strongly that his role was amazing in Oppenheimer. And I was thrilled that he was the favorite. And I was thrilled that he walked away with the Academy Award. I really believe that he deserved it, as did every single one. As I've said before, when it comes to the Academy Awards, the cake is to be nominated. The cake. Let's say you're making a cake. The cake, the major portion of the Academy Awards, is to be nominated. There are so many films out there. Having been a SAG nomination committee member, I have seen over 600 to 800 films, and it's exhausting. I try to see them all because I think they warrant being seen. If I get a chance to see them, I try and see them. But out of that, just imagine, that's SAG. Now, Screen Actors Guild limits what they pick and what they choose, right? But the Academy, it's ginormous, exponentially bigger. And to nail it down to 5 people, 5 individuals, or 10 pictures is incredible to me, that they can even do it. So it is a very difficult thing to do. So when you are in that list, go, what an honor. The cherry on the cake is the win. Now, many may disagree with me. The win. I felt I should have won. I should have won, man. But you're with all kinds of amazing people. And this year, almost anyone could have won, that, and I wouldn't have been upset. Previous years, I cannot say that. I cannot say that there have been times during the Academy Awards that I say, please don't vote for Power of the Dog. Please, please. Power of the Dog was a dog. What a dog. Didn't like it. Didn't like the acting. Didn't like anything about it. What a boring, angst, frustrating, boring, kill me now film. Power of the Dog. Yet it had, 12 Academy nominations? I think I won my little competition that I was in because I picked the winning film, which was Coda. Everybody laughed at me. Not going to be Coda, Terry. Not going to be Coda. And I said, it's going to be Coda. It's going to be Coda. The Academy will not disappoint me. They're going to vote for Coda. And what did they do? They voted for Coda, which was the best film of that year. So they do get a clue. They do get stuff done. They do have a wider range than many might think. Many people think the Academy is a bit stiff. But if you saw last year with Everything Everywhere All at Once, that is not a bunch of stiff people shutting out a film, because that film was whack-doodle, okay? And yet it took a lot of awards, and deservedly so. I'm not going to say it didn't deserve it, because it did. Is the film my cup of tea? No. I watched it 3 times, trying to love it, didn't love it. Love the people in it. Michelle Yeoh, oh gosh, I'm nuts over her. I love her. Jamie Lee Curtis, my horror maven, my B movie queen. No one's better than her. I mean, Halloween and Prom Night and all the ones that I loved as a kid growing up because Jamie was in them. Seriously, loved Jamie Lee Curtis. If Jamie Lee Curtis was in a movie, I was so there when I was younger. Halloween, Halloween 2, all of them, all of the ones that she was in. And she was my B movie horror queen. I just thought she was the best of the best of the best. And so great to see her win. Loved the love between that cast last year. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So this year, it was great to love all the movies for a different reason, except for Past Lives. Did not like that movie. I don't know what happened there, but they could have picked a different number 10, in my opinion. No offense to the director. Good for you. Go, girl. Try again. For me, didn't do it. Didn't do it for me. But the rest of them did, and they were amazing. And I was surprised that Killers was shut out. I did not think Killers was going to be a whopper of award winning, but I also didn't think it wasn't going to get anything. For me, if I had been voting, I thought for sure at least Best Actress. I mean, I wanted, okay, I'm not going to lie, I wanted Emma Stone. I also wanted Annette Bening. Okay, I two performances that I thought really shined along with Lily. But the fact that the Academy picked someone other than Lily, that was a nice upset. I got to tell you, I like that upset. But Lily, you know, swept it except for that one. So yeah, just that was thrilling for me. That was thrilling for me. Zone of Interest is a film that really affected me this year. I've watched it 3 times because I needed it that many times to understand it, to fully understand what was being said. Because if you're someone out there who wants a film that doesn't spoon feed you every single scene, you want to be treated like a super intelligent person, Zone of Interest is the one. They barely speak to you. They barely do. You have to figure it out. You have to understand the images. You have to understand it's not presented like a movie. And you have to listen, really listen. Oh, you know, I have a very dear friend, young friend from Terry's tribe that missed what it was about. And or didn't quite understand it, or didn't want to say that's what it was about. I don't know, but I will tell you, it's that kind of a movie. It's easy to do because you do have to read it, but you also have to watch. But you really, 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 really must listen. It is an amazing Zone of Interest. If you didn't see it, you need to see it. And it's going to leave an impression on you. It is a very strong film, and it deserves both Academy Awards that it got, Sound and Best International. I was delighted. So, but if you look again at all of the things that were up in various categories, the ones that won were great. Costumes, Poor Things. Makeup, Poor Things. Great, great, great. Right? You know, cinematography, Oppenheimer. You know, I mean, come on. It was amazing. Editing, Oppenheimer, amazing. Best Actor, Cillian, amazing. You know, you got 5 amazing choices. This is very rare. Personally, I think they're all good, but there's always one that stands out for me. Like, don't give it to this one. Please give it to this one because I didn't buy that. Okay. Now, my sister, interesting enough, did not like, let me find him here, did not like Coleman Domingo in Rustin. I disagree. I loved Coleman. I thought Coleman was amazing. I want to thank him and the people who made Rustin, because as a little mixed girl, half black, half white, there were things that my parents didn't necessarily choose to follow. And so I did not really learn about him. But I always say that a movie that makes you want to learn more is a win. And Coleman, I want you to know that of all the films that filmed at this time, yours was the one that made me grab this book. Okay? Because I want to learn more about this man. And that was your performance. So I don't know what my sister didn't like about it, but I thought the film was amazing. And I thought you were incredible in it. I thought you made me cry. Your challenge, if you will, your struggles, if you will, as this character were very strong. More honestly, you were as strong as the movie Maestro was weak. The movie that I really had trouble with was Maestro because I just kept wanting to hear the music. I mean, if Bernstein is about music, then why are we talking about pooping? Just weird. I mean, you know, you tell me in the comments if you disagree. I mean, jump up, speak up. I want to hear from you. But I'm going to tell you that movie I just want to give you a shout out because Coleman, I really, really liked your performance. I loved everybody for the most part. Bradley, you were fighting against your makeup. You were nasal most of the time. And it made me go listen actually to actual Bernstein talking interviews to see if he was nasal and you were doing as an actor and it wasn't. It's the nose. And this happens. This happens when you have practical. Sometimes you can't get that nasal out of your voice. As an actress in makeup, that can be a real challenge. So I feel for you, buddy, but so but you got nominated. You got the cake. You just didn't get the cherry yet. You go back and you do it again because we all know everybody that was up there, good actors, really good. Really, any single one of these people could have walked away with it. It was that delicious this year. It was all good cake. You know, we didn't have a bad cake in the batch, in my opinion. My opinion. You know, we didn't have a single bad piece of cake. It was all good, all yummy. All the actors good, you know. Okay, Color Purple was a little bit to deal with. That was a little rough. But I have to be honest with you. I'm not a big musicals person. I like Mary Poppins and I like My Fair Lady. And I like Sound of Music. I also like, my guilty pleasure is Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, which people who like music go, wah! But I do. I like Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. I just think it's kind of silly and smarmy. And for some reason, I get into that. But if it's a musical, I have trouble with it. So I got to say a little caveat on Color Purple. It could have been because I'm not into musicals. I just, when people start singing. And then there was the original Color Purple that I just adore. So it's very hard when you come back with something to make me love it as much as the previous one. You may have seen the 1956, 57 Time Machine with, is it Rod Taylor? And later on, they did Time After Time with Mary Steenburgen and Malcolm McDowell. Malcolm, is that right? Anyway, the one about Jack the Ripper jumping in the time machine and coming to present day. If you haven't seen it, it's amazing. And both of them, I like both of them. Both of them. And that's great. I feel the same with, let's talk about movies that were before and then after that I like. So Color Purple, didn't like it. But there are movies that are done one way and then done another way, and then I like it. Okay. In fact, sometimes I like the second movie better than the first. Rarely. But it does happen. So what was it? Trying to think of the name of it. Was it Terms of Endearment with the three girls? That's like Pride and the Prejudice. That I thought was great. I like both of those. The original Pride and the Prejudice with Greer Garson, and then I think the other one is Terms of Endearment. Is it? Is that right? Anyway, if that, you know which one I mean, with the girls and the amazing. Just yeah, I like them both. Both were good. Both to me were good. Forgive me because titles. I'm a visual person, so I know things visually, but sometimes I get them mixed up with the names. So forgive me. Another really great moment was Billie Eilish and the Barbie. You know, the Barbie song. Guys, if you haven't seen this movie, please go see this movie. I know what some of you are thinking. Barbie? But you got to go see it. It has got such wonderful moments. And what was I made for? As you saw, if you watched it last night, you could see how proud these two were to have written it, to have the opportunity to sing it, and then genuinely thrilled when they won. That's what we like when we watch an award show, is someone who is surprised, who is honored, who shows gratitude for their win, not get up there like they were some, of course I knew I was going to win. Even if you knew that, fake it, guys. You're an actor. So we want to see you just be surprised and be excited and be happy. And so many were last night. They did such a great job. Everyone, the speeches were so lovely. And we cannot leave this broadcast without cheering and congratulating Godzilla -1. Woo! I mean, the house brought down. The house came down for Terry. Homage. Love you, Academy. Love you, Academy. Love you, Academy, because of Godzilla. And to watch everyone jump up and have a Godzilla, being a Godzilla myself, did I have to even tell you that? No, I did not. Love Godzilla. And to see all of them get this. I mean, this is -1. Okay, if you're not a Godzilla person, insert favorite movie genre here. Imagine, and many of you can, Marvelites, you can imagine it. Star Wars people, you can imagine it. Many of you can imagine exactly what I'm going to tell you. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. You are watching tons and tons and tons of misses. Just complete misses. Star Wars films that don't work. Marvel with what the heck are they thinking about? You're sitting there going, what do they call it? The brand? No. The property, the intellectual property being destroyed before your very eyes. And then you see it. Somebody gets it. Somebody asked you or is like you, that they make something that your little heart just flutters, goes all aflutter, because somebody hits the mark in something that was special and means so much to you, means a lot to you. For Star Wars, it was what? The Mandalorian, wasn't it? Didn't you just sing Favreau's praises? Favreau, 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 Favreau. You know what I mean? And you're dancing in the street, Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda, ooh, Yoda, ooh. You were all doing the Star Wars conga. We got ourselves a movie. We got ourselves a movie. One that we really like, yeah. One that we really like, yeah. And in Marvel, what was it? I gotta say, it was probably the Spider-Man movie with all 3 Spider-Men, if you're talking live action. But I think the thing that really got you was this Into the Spider-Verse group, these animators. Woo! Doggy, are they good? And oh my goodness, I am not a Marvelite, so I miss all of this. The one thing for me is Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy. As long as you put that character in a movie, I'm in. I just keep my eyes on him. But most of these Marvel films, right over my head. So I really love this Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, this universe of animation that is dazzling and wild, and the story is good. The characters are fun. Just amazing. But how did you feel as a Marvelite? Tell me in the comments how you felt when that movie hits. This is Godzilla -1. And Godzilla -1 did something else that everyone said could not be done. Hollywood, no, 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 it cannot be done. If you don't spend 400 million zillion gazillion dollars, the movie is a failure. But we know that's baloney, right? We know that you can spend 4 million gazillion trillion dillion dollars and have a complete flopalooza. And then you go, oh, really? You did what? You spent how much? That movie sucked. Why didn't you stop? I mean, sucking just doesn't happen. There's a beginning. There's like a, and then it gets worse and really sucks. So somewhere in the middle of the light suck and the big suck, why didn't you stop? And ask people. Oh, I'm getting all, can you see how, because Star Wars, Ben Kenobi, Boba Fett, it's like being stabbed. It's so bad. They're so bad. So you're going through countless, mediocre, bad, sucky films, and then all of a sudden someone or some group comes together. Godzilla Minus One is this group. Something that when we sat in that chair and were teleported into there was modern technique in there, modern acting. Okay, we don't need the past. We've got the past. Okay, we've got the original Gojira with the hand puppet and all of that. We got that. We got the original Godzilla King of the Monsters with Raymond Burr. Okay, so you don't need to repeat that. What you need to do is show us the love when you're going to make a Godzilla movie, and they do. And guess what, guys? For 10 grand, for 10 million, not 10 grand, $10 million. 10. 10. People ought to be looking at that. People ought to be taking just take a look at that. And just like was said at the Academy Awards last night, how about divvying it up and doing 50, instead of doing 400 million and having a complete flop? Why don't you break it down into 50 million or 20 million or 10 and let these people go off and make something wonderful? Well said. That speech was really good and really important. And yeah, so there I was, Godzilla Minus One, watching everyone bring their favorite Godzilla up to the podium and then struggle because he had written out, just in case he won. I usually don't like when people read, but I especially like this because I knew it wasn't his first language. I really would have loved if someone had translated for him so he could speak in Japanese. I mean, after all, Godzilla, Japanese, it's kind of a no-brainer, right? But I also understand the importance of him wanting to speak English and wanting to do it himself because he was very touched. They were all so grateful that we had noticed them. I don't think they ever imagined that they could be where they were last night on that stage. And yet there they all were. And I just celebrate them. I'm so proud of them. They made a movie that I saw both in color and black and white with my husband. We actually went to the theater to see these films. We don't always go to the theater, but this one we did. This one we made a point to go see it. And it's a very, very special film. So I love it. And Barbie, although Barbie, the song, which says it all, and the Ken song, which is wonderful, and he did an amazing job. What a lovely guy. Don't you think he's a fun guy? I don't know. I think as a human being, he's probably a really cool human being. I just think everyone in that cast is pretty cool human beings. They had a lot of fun. I know they did. I saw a lot of behind the scenes on Barbie, and there are things that are all, most of them it's practical. So when the people are riding the bike or in a car or a boat, there's someone on the side cranking or actually physically moving the waves. And so you have me at hello when you do practical effects. And these are serious practical effects. It's a charming film. And you owe yourself to watch it. Okay. If for some reason you can't go to a theater to see it, it's not in your area, or it feels a little guilty because you're going to go see the Barbie movie, then be sure and watch it or stream it. Okay. And then look at the behind the scenes stuff, because the behind the scenes stuff is really amazing. Greta and her team, they all did a great job. And to hear Greta and her gratitude for being able to have who she had on the film is touching. So although she didn't get the cake, she got some. She got a little slice of the Eilish cake, didn't she? She did. She got the cake. And they all thanked her and showered love on her. And I appreciated that very, very much. In fact, I especially liked Emma saying, "I think I broke my dress during the Ken number," which is just charming, isn't it? And for those of you who don't know, Emma walked up and she said, "My dress is broken, so please don't look at the back." But the Academy is a very, very strongly well-oiled machine. And so Emma, all she had to do was go backstage, and there were people who could fix that. So they just fixed her dress right there. So she didn't have to worry about a broken dress for the rest of the night. They have people there that come in and make sure everything looks choice, because then they're going to walk down that Oscar aisle where they've already won, and you want her to be able to feel comfortable in her outfit without any problems. So they're there for that. Also, the other thing you may not know about the Academy Awards that I love knowing is it's an actual award. In other words, when the people get the Oscar, they go heavy. The thing I didn't necessarily understand, I mean, I did understand it, but I didn't understand it. Okay. And here, let me explain. The Oscar, they give you the actual Oscar that night. They give it to you in your little hands, in your lovely little wanting paws. And then you can go, then they have an engraver. They have engravers on site, and you can actually watch your trophy being engraved with your win. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Now, Billie Eilish said that the Grammys are fake. So you get the Grammy and you get to hold it up and everything. It's a light plastic thing, she said. And you then later get the one mailed to you with your name on it. But how cool is it to watch engravers engrave at the Academy Awards and watch your name go on the award? I don't know. I think that would be send chills through my body watching the demonstration of it. It just was, it was fantastic. I was really impressed with that. So that's something for me, because this is my Super Bowl, that I love to learn these things about behind the scenes and stuff like that. My mother used to go to the rehearsals way, way back when my dad was working for the phone company. I think I was a little kid, so we're talking the 60s. But my mom could sit and watch the actors rehearse, and they often came and chat with my mother. She met tons of really cool people back then. I mean, she'd come home and regale us with stories of meeting, Barbara Streisand, or meeting people that she really, really liked. She was a big fan of Elvis Presley, and she met Elvis one time. And she was a huge fan of, let me think, early actor that she would not stop. You have the movie where you want, like, if it's on, you stop. And I'm trying to think of which. Might have been Sidney Poitier or Elizabeth Taylor. But I do know that she got to meet, like, her iconic actress that she really, really loved. It's funny that it's not hitting me in the head as to who it was. But yeah, I'm with her on meeting Elizabeth Taylor. The room, you meet Elizabeth Taylor and all the air goes out of the room, not because Elizabeth is any kind of a difficult person. She's just such a major. She was such a major, She was a major. It was, meeting her was wowzer. And I'm fortunate enough to have got to meet with her twice and work with her twice. So, yeah, amazing lady, a wonderful woman. She signed my two favorite Laserdiscs. I have 3 movies that I love of hers, but I have 2 that aren't, like Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, obviously, and then Butterfield 8. I just love how well she performs in Butterfield 8. It's a Giant is another one where she's brilliant, and I love Giant for a multitude of other reasons. But yeah, so it's neat to see the people you love. I will say the in memoriam needs work. You don't need dancers dancing around strips of streamers with people's faces on them that you can't see on television, no matter how big your screen is. I think you need to just do what you did before. A big screen comes down, and then you project onto it the in memoriam, and then you zoom in and film the screen. That works. That's simple. We don't want dancers. We don't want light play. We just want to pay homage to those that we lost in that year. So I know you don't want to do that. You don't want to do a long drawn out, but that's one of the things we love. So I plead to ABC Network or whoever's in charge to give them some extra time, because I really like that sequence in the Academy Awards, not a QR code that I have to use my phone to then pull up the, I know there's a lot of people, I get it. Believe me, I get it. But I also love that. That's one of my favorite parts of the Academy Awards, is celebrating those who have given us a great body of work, who have crossed over. So my opinion, of course, but that's what I feel about it. So if you had anything that you watched that you thought should not have happened, or you weren't impressed, or you were impressed, feel free to tell me in the comments. And that's my thing. This weekend was challenging, as will be the next week or so, maybe more, because I am the administrator of my dad's estate, and being an artist, it's work for me. Remember, one foot in front of the other is the best thing you can do. and realize you're only one human being with 2 hands and 2 feet, 1 heart, and 1 brain, and you mean well. So take care of you, which I did on Friday. I lost my voice because I was just talking way too much. I was I was in wheeler dealer mode. Negotiation this, negotiation that. What do I do here? Do I sign this? Do I talk that? You know, when you really want to be in a room with your music or your movie and paint or sculpt or carve or sew or whatever you do creatively, you know? Yeah, mine has been shredding paperwork. Oh, yay! Another box of paperwork. So, yeah, my parents, bless their hearts, my dad and my mom saved paperwork that has nothing to do with me, but since the age of 5, since I was 5 years old. Yeah, nothing like a phone bill from 1960 that I have to, you know, so yeah, he just didn't want to throw anything away. Lord love him. And there's some good stuff in that. I found my scrapbook that I made. I think my mom must have helped me, but we put together a scrapbook of me from birth, and it's pretty impressive. I didn't even look at it because I want to share it with my tribe on Patreon. So I'm going to do like an unboxing on Patreon. So if you want to be part of the tribe, you thought you were going to get free, didn't you? I have to tell you about patreon.com/Terri Hardin. It is a place called Terri's Tribe. It is a place where creative people get together and I get more in depth about things that pertain to you. So let's say you're someone who wants to make a living doing what you love, or you're an artist and not quite sure if you deserve being an artist for a living, which is insane. You may not even know what an artist is. I've said that before on this channel, that an artist is someone who's passionate about what they do. So I have an artist who is my accountant. She's an artist. She's amazing. My CPA, he's an artist. He's very good. They are the numbers people. So they don't paint by numbers. Numbers is their, she calculates in her head a lot, which just blows me away because, I need my fingers and toes for everything. There are so many that may not draw, paint, sculpt, act, but their art is what they do. And for example, this probate lawyer, he's an artist. Oh my gosh. He's probably, if I say, Michelangelo, Degas, wow, this guy is just unbelievable. He is so, so good. Stephen, he's amazing. So you get with these people who are passionate about what they do and they dig deep because they love, messing around in there. And that's what's really super, super cool is you get with these people and they just blow you away how good they are. So if you're that person, you can be a numbers person. You can be a sports person. There's a lot of passion in sports, isn't there? Those of you who watch it and those of you who are in it. So I highly recommend going to patreon.com. $5 a month gets you in. That is a tier that is easy to manage. You can put a jar by the doorway, drop a quarter in it, and have your monthly every single month. So that's what we start with, but there are other tiers that you might like to be a part of, and I welcome you to do so. I'm not as active yet on those tiers, so $5 may be where you want to rest and see if you enjoy the whole thing that we do with the tribe. And then if you like it, once I tell you I'm doing more, then you could kick it up if you so desire. But right now, there's several levels that are great and others that I'm like this because of the death of my dad. Has kept me distracted. So I'm not doing as aggressively as I usually do, but I'm pretty good at what I do. I always do a broadcast every Monday and every Friday before this one exclusively for the tribe. And then I do a Zoom gathering every week, nighttime sometimes and daytime, Wednesdays, often sometimes Monday nights. Also Fridays, we move it around a little bit depending so everyone can get in on a call at some point. Does not all happen in the same week because I have a life. So you have a life and I have a life. So, but I try to accommodate as best I can. And a lot of the Zoom is discussion, spotlighting on new members, things like that. We haven't spotlighted people in a while because that takes a little work on my part. And right now I'm looking to just, stay afloat. So I appreciate everything that the tribe does, and the gentleness and the kindness of which they work with me, the patience of which they work with me while I go through this. They're very, very wonderful. And I believe your voice needs to be heard. So come join us, okay? It's kind of nice because you can kind of hokey pokey. You can put your right foot in and be there a while, swim around, see if you like it. And if you do, yay. And if you don't, we don't give you any golden handcuffs and get angry at you or say something mean to you if you feel like leaving, because that's your prerogative. You're simply changing the channel. And I understand that. So those of you who are staying today, thank you for not changing the channel. I appreciate that. So we have a few comments. Let's get to those. This one says, good morning, came in late. What movie are you talking about? Michael, I talked to you about a bunch of them. Did you have a favorite that you saw in the Academy Awards? Might have been Zone of Interest, because that's been, I have to tell you, you can't say, wow, that was my favorite movie. That's the movie that had the most impact on me. That one hit me pretty hard. Favorite movie of the year was Barbie. Yeah, I loved Barbie. I loved Oppenheimer. I loved all the movies, all of them. Killers of the Flower Moon, I thought could have been 50 minutes shorter. Okay, I just didn't see, I thought that being as long as it was sort of diluted it. It's kind of like when you have coffee, if you put too much water in it, then the coffee is weak. And yet when you started, it was really strong, but then you kept pouring water, like, or even milk. You put a dollop of milk and you can still have the balance. But if you put too much milk, then the coffee's not only cold, but you lose the purpose, which was to have coffee with milk or cream, not milk or cream with coffee. You follow? So in Killers of the Flower Moon, which was probably not the one I was talking about, Michael, but I'll talk about it now. Killers of the Flower Moon was, when it started out, really had me. It had a good, strong hold on me. And, whoops, took the bottom. Really a good, strong hold on me. And I was like, whoa, whoa, and forgive me. Let me use a Kleenex. That would work way better than my palm, huh? I'm teaching bad habits. Forgive me. There we go. That's better. What is it they say in 12 Angry Men? Your horn works. How about your lights? Yeah. Anyway, I'm digressing. Killers of the Flower Moon had amazing acting by Lily. Oh my gosh, the strongest performance I feel in the whole movie. Amazing. Oh, amazing. So amazing. But I was really gripped by it for the beginning, and then they just stretched out a portion so much that I began to be exhausted and aware of the time. And I think it didn't do the movie justice. Sorry, Scorsese, but if you really believe that movie needed to be 3 hours, I suggest you watch it again. Because honestly, it needed editing. It did. And I think it would have had more impact. I lost the impact. It had me at the beginning, and then it just was like, so you see, right away, boom, hit you. Let's go. Okay. Make sure your audience understands, and then move on. Don't linger in this area of, what are you doing here for? I got the message. Let's move now. You don't want us thinking that as the viewer. So that was the problem I had with Killers. Even so, Lily was brilliant. Don't get me wrong. Nothing against her. I feel like DiCaprio phoned his performance in. Sorry, DiCaprio, I know you didn't. It just was not a strong performance for you, nor was it for De Niro. Yeah, stuff I'd seen before, I'm afraid. And I like to balance it with what you've done before. Robert Downey Jr., okay, just keeps getting better. And so when we saw this performance in Oppenheimer, it was great. Cillian is just great, amazing. You know, you watch him and he looks so bizarre, and he works that. And I think to cast him as Oppenheimer was okay, because there were times when he had this intense look, and there were times when he had this hurt, you know, painful look, and then this lost look. Oh, really, really good. It was really good. Everyone was really good, though. Every actor did really great work that was nominated. All the nominations, the cake, if you will. The people that got the cake, which was the nomination, great. Any one of you could have deserved the cherry on the top, which would have been the win. So you cannot fault yourself for if you did not get the cherry, okay? Because you all deserved it. That's what you should know. You all deserved it. And there were just, but Zone of Interest was the movie that moved me the most, as far as a film that just really shocked me. And I mentioned this with The Tribe. I said, if you want a movie that doesn't spell it out for you, have you been to those films where they like A, B, C, D, E, no E, F, G? So reads a note, you know, or like it's a knife. Make sure you see the knife. Now don't forget the knife. And by the way, knife. And you're like, I am not stupid. Why do you keep talking to me as though I'm stupid? All right. I just don't like films like that. They exhaust me. You know, they have a gun. Gone. You know, I see it's a gun. Thank you. But you know, and it's not all films that do that. I'm not saying any of the ones nominated did that, but Zone of Interest goes the other way. Zone of Interest just is got just, I mean, the dialogue. It's not like watching a movie. It's like taking a peek into some lives. And so you really have to watch and listen. I had to watch it 3 times because you have to read it as well. It's a foreign film, if I didn't mention that, and you don't already know that. And so you have to read it, and you have to watch it. And sometimes people say, if I read it, I can't watch it. So I read it and watch it. And then I watched it a second time and I didn't read it because I knew what was happening, right? So I watched it without reading. And then the third time, then I watched it again, because they don't explain. They don't over explain. If anything, they under explain. So you really have to listen to see what's going on. And my husband hasn't seen it yet, but I'm going to tell you something. He's one of those people that'll probably get it first time. But I'm not one of these people, okay? I'm one of these people that needs to see something a couple times if it's one of those movies that doesn't really explain everything to you, like Brazil. Oh my goodness. Terry Gilliam's Brazil. I had to watch 3 times before I could tell whether or not I even liked it. And then I mean, it's a film I love, but oh my gosh, the first time I was lost. I was just sort of hanging on. And my husband, no problem, you know? Yeah. Whenever I go see a Marvel film, because I'm not a Marvelite, I take him because I need it explained to me. You know, they did what was that series they did with the Scarlet Witch and the guy she loved with the jewel up here? See, I don't, forgive me. If you're a Marvelite, just don't hate me because I just don't know these names. But they did that black and white show a la Dick Van Dyke. I just loved it. But they called her one thing and then they called her Scarlet Witch. And I got lost. And my husband had to say, oh, she is this, also the Scarlet Witch. So, you know, you can't know everything. And so to have someone there to sort of guide you through some of these things that you don't follow, you don't understand, is really nice to have when it's something that you want to understand. You know, you don't go, it's Marvel, but they kind of explain to you what's going on. When you go, why did that happen? You know? So it's great to have him to help me through something. Sometimes he goes, I don't know. I don't know this character. And so we're both experiencing it together because we have no idea what this character is or why they're on the screen or why did you pick that. So so there's those moments as well. But the point is that this Zone of Interest is one of those movies that is for the intellectual and those who are willing to watch it a couple of times to understand it. You don't have to, but you could miss the point. I've had several people completely miss the point of the film. And it's because you've got to focus. You don't. I have a friend who watched with her phone, watched the Barbie movie. I'm sorry, she didn't watch it in the phone. It's out here, and she's got the phone going. Not going to happen, guys. You're not going to get the gist of it. Put the phone away. I know some of you have had it grafted to your hand, but take, give me that. Put it down and watch the film. Zone of Interest. If you don't, you will miss it all. The complete point, because the filmmakers felt, we're going to tell you the story, a story you know from a different point of view. We're going to tell it to you, and then we're going to walk away. We're not going to over-explain and spoon-feed it to you. You got to figure it out. You got to watch. You got to listen. You got to eyes open, ears open. Yep. Okay, let me see what you all got to say, because the people are like, hey, let's talk. Hi, Tim Gillette. Did you watch the Academy Awards? I don't know if it's your thing or not. It would have been Craig Duswalt's thing, though. Did you see Slash? All I did was think of Craig Duswalt and you when I saw Slash doing his bit. I mean, did Slash ever think he'd be at the Academy Awards? That's all I could think of was, we got to learn a lot about Slash at some gatherings because we have a friend, Tim Gillette and I have a friend who knows him. And he's a really nice guy. I mean, not that you think it's, but a name like Slash, you go, I don't know. Why did you pick Slash? No, that's not the reason. He's a warm and charming, fun individual. And I felt like I knew him. My buddy's up there. Even though I know him more through Craig Duswalt and Tim Gillette. So it was kind of cool. If you didn't see it, Google it, because he was great during the Ken song. It was really special. The franchise. Thank you, David. Yeah, you just hate when they screw up your franchise, don't you, David? Tell me about it. Pride and Prejudice and zombies. No, zombies. It's not what I said. My husband is chiming in now. He's kidding. See, he's kidding. See, he's messing with me. Sense and Sensibilities. Did I say that? Or did I call it something else? Anyway, that's the one that I like. Yeah. I like that one. Made Later. Wonderful. It's a good film. So I love that one too. Thank you, Annie. Hi, Terry. How are you feeling today? I'm talking. In other words, I'm talking with voice behind it. That's nice. I love hearing my voice behind instead of, little challenging on Friday and Thursday. Yeah. So thank you for asking. Thank you, Mike. You always do. I appreciate it. Adam's got a lot to say. Really great Oscar ceremony. Loved Cillian or Killian, whatever. Murphy's performance in Oppenheimer, and his Oscar was well deserved. It's funny that you mentioned that Scorsese needs to edit, considering that best editor for many of his movies is all the way up to Wolf of Wall Street, had just passed away a few years back. Makes you wonder how the film would have been if his main editor was still around. Adam, you show up. Yes, you do. You show up. All I know is that it needed it. It really needed it. I look nice today. Yeah, I'm wearing my stuffed animal coat. This is a coat I got as a gift from Outrageous Pumpkins. Many of you know I judge that show on the Food Network. And on Discovery Channel. This is one of my coats. And so whenever it's cool, now outside we're warming up, but that's why I jumped on wearing it today, because I like being able to wear warm clothes. In California, we don't get that as often as you'd think. So this has been a great year for cool weather. So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. When I went to my father's over the weekend, my cousin said pilot light blew out on the heater and he didn't want to relight it. So we had someone come in and do it. Best to ask the professionals when you're not quite sure. But that night he was cold. So he said, take a jacket if you're going to be walking around the house, because house is really, really cold. And I'm like, don't need it. Because I like it cold. My husband often slides in looking like an ice cube, and I have to sort of chip him out of it because I like it cold a lot. Yes, I love it. I get up and get in my car and it says 48 and I'm like, yeah. So, yeah. Why I'm in California? Well, because I love the state. But honestly, when it's cold here, I love it. I love it a lot. So, but this week is going to be sunny. And for those of you who like California for what California is known for, we're going to have weather in the 60s and 70s, y'all. So you can be happy that that's coming. Evan even points out that the barn, if you have not been to Walt's barn at Griffith Park, Walt Disney's actual barn, it will be open from 11 to 3 this Sunday, and doesn't have anything about pending rain. So you can go, it'll be sunny, and I don't know. They usually announce who's going to be there around later in the week this week. So stay tuned, and I will try to bring that to you. Will I be there? Not sure. It is very close to the closing of escrow on the estate for my father. So I may have to use that weekend to make sure everybody gets what my dad was a really amazing person. He let people store things in his backyard. There had to be 4 cars. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars, a taco stand, a shed with a motorcycle in it, etc., etc., etc. He let people store things in his backyard. He was like, hey, no problem. Blah. So now I'm contacting, one of the jobs of the administrator is to contact people and let them know that the house has been sold and will be is in mid baton passing to the new buyer. And once the buyer takes possession of the house, you can no longer go on the property and get your stuff. So I've been saying, come get your car, come get your motorcycle, come get your 8-burner grill, come get your what else did he have in there that he had to come get? Oh, your taco stand. Come get your taco stand. Come get your taco stand. Come get your car. So they're slowly getting their stuff that they need out, but I just don't want them to be stuck and not know that they have to have it out by a certain date so that they can still get it, because I still have ownership. You follow? So that's the big deal. That's the big, like I'm like trying to get people to come and get what they, stored, let alone my sister and I are, of course, going through the things of the house, so on and so forth. And while I'm thinking about it, if any of you need a brand new, brand spanking in the wrapper still hospital bed, let me know, because I got one for my father and then he never came home. Not pulling your heartstrings here, but I'm going to have to leave it. I don't need it, and the VA won't take it back. So your tax dollars at work. So if you need it, post in the comments and let me know. You'd have to come and pick it up. But if you need it, someone who needs it, I'm going to reach out to my mom's convalescent hospital. I don't think they need it, but I'm going to ask them. So I'm trying to ask as many people. I have a friend who works with the elderly. So I said, could you use it? Any of them use it? It's just a matter of handing it off to someone who could really use it. Save you about $7,000 in buying a brand new one, or maybe they're even more now. But yeah, if you think that you want it, just message me, email me, terri@terrihardin.com, or just post in the comments and let me know, and we'll make arrangements for you to come get it. Okay. Yeah, I hate to let it go. Yeah, but thank you, Mike. Um, so proud of Robert Downey Jr. for finally winning an Oscar. Well, there was a time, as you know, and he spoke about it, didn't he? Didn't he, Adam? About those dark times. And if anybody is a phoenix story, a rising above the ashes like a phoenix, it's Robert Downey Jr. There's lots of people who have done it. Don't get me wrong. But Robert was very public when it was happening to him, and he's very open about it, which I really appreciate, because when you try to hide that which you go through, it doesn't help others. And him just coming right out and speaking about it helped so many others. And it was a very well deserved. He's given some great performances. I thought Robert Downey Jr. was brilliant in Back to School, the Dangerfield film, which some people feel is my guilty pleasure, but I love that movie. Back to School, love that movie. And he's amazing in it. He's really good in it. And then he had his challenges, as we all know, and then all of a sudden, he, like a phoenix, wasn't easy for him to rise above the ashes, but he just didn't quit. And he talks about it takes a village. He talked about the village that helped him. So, yes, I am proud of him too, Adam. Absolutely. Slash did a fantastic job during Just Kid. Well, Slash was just fun, wasn't he? He was just fun. And like I said, I know him and of him and him through one of my mentors, Craig Deswalt. So it was a joy. It was like seeing a brother up there. It was cool. Not to mention that it's fun to see Slash anyway. I mean, amazing character, See, it's just, you don't judge a person by their name or by what you think, or, Guns N' Roses was one of those kind of aggressive bands that I never listened to. But then I met Craig and I learned about them from a different angle. And then we watched, we were together in Texas one time, and we watched Bohemian Rhapsody, which is another brilliant film if you haven't seen it. And we were on the phone, everyone after in the theater with Greg, was on the phone with the guitarist, I think bass guitarist, wasn't it, Tim, from Queen? He was actually talking to us after the movie. We were talking about the movie on a call. Oh, it was amazing. So, yeah. So you just, I'm not a lot in music. I like music. I love music, but I dance to it mostly. And so I'm not listening to it quietly while working, because I just dance to it too much. And so I usually have a movie that I've watched a million times, and then it plays in my head. So, yeah, that's me. But yeah, Slash was great. I'm curious what your thoughts were about the whole John Cena moment. It came in late because I'm not sure what moment that you're talking about. I don't know. Maybe I'm not following the name, but remind me and I'll comment on it. Fun fact, Slash is also mixed like you. Yeah, I know. But thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate it. And so happy for Godzilla -1 winning visual effects. Well deserved. Didn't you just bring the house down when that happened? I know I did. My poor husband was on a call with his family. They do a Sunday Zoom call. And I was not on the call. Okay. People know. Don't try to call me, text me, or talk to me during the Academy Awards. You will not get a response. So that's what happened. Nobody got a response. I looked at them this morning and wrote them, because no, I am like glued to it. And yeah, I like got up and made dinner, and during commercial breaks, and then I just like, they take a breath, and I want to hear about it. Yeah. I really did think they did great with their outfits this year. Most of them, the cotton candy girl, the girl all wrapped in pink, and the whatever that, oh dear God, that was a bit much, but everyone else was really looking cool. I mean, she can't fit through a doorway. So I was kind of like, I hope that comes off. So it makes a nice, sweet pink number. She makes a statement from the carpet, because maybe she was kind of feeling couture, and then she can take that off so that she can fit through doorways. I don't know. I think this is important when you're going to a party. Loved RD. Yes, in Chaplin as well. Yeah, this is just before he started to go south. Remember, go down the rabbit hole into bad stuff. Yeah, Chaplin was great. They talked about that too, about what he did to be Chaplin. Forgive me. It's Monday. Oh, yes. Oh, John. See, I didn't know his name. I just know he was perfect for the part. He was adorable. To be so large, this guy is big, and to be so large, and then he looks like a Ken doll. He's got the like, it looked like he had the places where the arms can move, and near the abdominal area where the legs kind of can kick up. He looked like that. And I kept thinking to myself, wow, he's got all the shape that looks like buff Ken. He's buff Ken or lifeguard Ken. And it cracked me up. And I thought he was being so large, so big, having only a card to dress him, and then standing there and saying, costumes. It threw me over the back of the chair. I got to tell you, I was laughing. I thought, ooh, whoever came up with this bit is brilliant. It was, so funny. So funny. And then to come back dressed in drapery, like Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind, only it was like a pink drape, or it wasn't a green drape, but it was, that was so fun with the tassels and everything. Oh, that little Gone with the Wind moment. Oh, that made me laugh. It's adorable. He was adorable, and very happy that he could, what a trooper, right? I mean, that's a good guy right there that did that. Yeah. Favorite outfits of the year on the red carpet. I cannot remember her name, but she's in Best of Show as the woman who hurts her foot and she walks funny. Brilliant comedian. She had a gorgeous dress last night. She just twinkled and sparkled, all black, a really beautiful black number that showed her figure off very, very well. I had problems with, is it Jada? I think she's the one that is married to Will Smith, Jada Smith. She had a nose ring that was obviously diamonds, and you couldn't watch her face because they kept doing this from her nose. So I felt like she should have taken that out. Just take that out so that we're watching your face. A, beautiful face. B, do you really want everyone to look up your nose? I don't know. Her outfit was lovely, the green one. I thought it was pretty. She seems to like emerald green because she seems to wear it a lot. But you were distracted because you kept staring here when you should have been staring here while she was talking. But because it was a diamond, be one thing if it was a ring, it just like something silver simple. I still would have taken it out for the Academy Awards because it was diamond studded or something really sparkly, because it kept catching the light. And I looked at it and I said, this is not what you're going to like. I know how power to you if you want to have a nose ring, that's up to you. But that right there, yeah, take it out so that we can see what you're saying and look at the whole. Just zoomed in on that. You couldn't help it because it was like a headlight. So I had problems with that. Favorite dress. I don't know. I got to tell you what I really loved was the sparkly pantsuit. Can't remember who wore that. But that sparkly pantsuit, black pantsuit, and the stripes were sparkle. Ooh, I thought that was sweet looking. I thought that was really beautiful. Can't remember who had it on though. But wow. Whoa. I thought, whoa, that's a nice statement. Very pretty. Very pretty. See, to me, I like when people kind of mix it up, but not flotation device mix it up. Kathy McCarthy, she had a dress that fitted her, and then she had the water wings. What do they call them for beginning swimmers? Look like those. Look like, why? She has a lovely body. Just what's with the flotation device all around up here? You're going to fall in a pool or something? I don't know. The water wings were too much for me on that dress. And they were a weird color. They didn't go like the red was an orange red, and then you have a blue red wrap that's more magenta than red. I don't know. I didn't think that worked. That one didn't work. The cotton candy girl, as I mentioned before, in pink, but she can't fit through the door. I'm hoping she can just slip that inner tube off and go through doors later. That was a problem. But a lot of things that I was wowed by, more wows than not. The most wows I've seen in a long time, like everybody got a mirror, which I loved. You know, hey, you guys invested in mirrors. I really like that. I mean, hair looked good. Everybody looked really, really, really good, except for De Niro in the end. I don't know if they just woke him up from a deep sleep. I mean, he has a new baby, as I understand. But you know, even his presentation of Oppenheimer was kind of like, oh, Oppenheimer. Like he didn't want to say it, or I guess Oppenheimer's the winner. You know, like what? Is it a secret? I don't know. That was so bizarre, that ending with him. I wondered if he was asleep, had he had a couple in the back. I don't know. I mean, it was weird. And he did a funny topply walk when he first walked out that I thought he was doing on purpose. And then I don't know now, because when he spoke, it was so bizarre. So, yeah, that was weird too. But I liked so many outfits. So many outfits were just gorgeous. Best supporting actress for Holdovers, Divine, or is it Davine? Anyway, I loved her dress, except for the pom-pom sleeves. I think if the pom-pom sleeves had maybe been a little understated, they looked like the size of an actual pom-pom. Rah, rah, sis boom bomb, pom-pom. And the problem was it sort of battled with her head. So she had her head looking beautiful, and then that beautiful silhouette of a dress. And then these two things juggling anytime she moved her arms seemed to be a bit weird for me. Her speech was impeccable. What a great speech. Really loved it. Really loved her sharing her heart with us. But I just thought this fluffiness might have been a bit too much. Good, it was all one color. If it had been a different color, that could have been difficult. And she can carry it off. Don't get me wrong. You know, if anyone's going to wear those giant puffy pom-pom sleeves, it's her. Because it just, you know, but I would have liked to seen, no, not bare arm. She didn't have to have bare arm, but maybe, I don't know, a little, I don't know. I don't know what I would have done on there, but I would have done something, because she has a lovely shape. And those pom-poms just, I kind of thought they got in the way a little. Just my opinion, though. You looked beautiful. And thank you for that dress, because you looked beautiful. And it made us think about your face. And I was grateful for that, because you have a beautiful face. You're an amazing actress. And I wanted to hear and look at your face, not worry about other things that have nothing to do with your performance and your poise and your acting. So there you have it. There you have it. There's my statement to that. Others will come. There was one that was later in the show that looked like it was a bunch of fireworks kind of all over her that I really liked. All kinds of colors on a nice, cute little slim little body. I thought that was cute. Just across the board, there were some beautiful outfits. Everybody had some really pretty outfits. You know, yeah, just nice. Somebody designed some good stuff, guys. Good job. Catherine O'Hara, that's the one. Yes, she's the one. Didn't you think her dress was amazing? I mean, wow. You know, kind of felt a little bit like Jessica Rabbit. Really nice. Whew. That one made me go, whoa. There's black, and then there's a beautiful black. There's beautiful black dresses, and then there's incredible black dresses. Simplicity. Yeah, that was a beauty. Thank you, Adam. The lady in the green dress is actually Cynthia Erivo, who's going to play the Wicked Witch of the West in Wicked later this year. Yeah, the one with the nose thing. Oh, I thought it was Smith's wife. But anyway, still needed to come out, my lady, the bald lady. Everything else was gorgeous on her. That needed to go. Yeah. This year, the girl in pink, Arlene Grande, who will play Glinda, the Good Witch, hence the color scheme. Color scheme or the dress? Because seriously, guys, no to the dress, no to the inflatables. Just leave your inflatables at home. No inflatables. Okay. I could see the understructure of the thin dress. I would have just gone with that. Maybe something around her shoulders could have been okay. Just a little less. These look like to be the diameter on the stuff that went all around her looked like it was 12 to 18 inches. Too much. She's a little girl. She's a little slight built girl, not a little girl like, hi, how are you? But a slender girl. And she hid it all. And I don't blame you. I don't mind you hiding it. That's not what I'm saying. But my goodness, you can't fit through the door in that thing. We even got to see you struggle when you exited to get past the announcer. So you were no to that dress. No inflatables. Color scheme was pretty on her. I'm going to tell you, the color was nice. The dress was not. Hey everyone. Hi, Joe Penny. Loved the Oscars last night, except for the memorial. Yeah, sucked, didn't it? They really screwed up again. It's just because they tried. I mentioned this before. They don't want to do it anymore. They wanted to just have you get the QR code and do it later. But so many people balked at that, including yours truly. Everyone balked at that because that's one of the major reasons a lot of people tune in. You can't really say you love that part because that sounds kind of weird, but I appreciate that part. I like paying homage to those that have given me joy in their films, and so I want that. I don't think that should be minimized in any way. So what's the solution? Let's not just be part of the problem. Let's say what they could have done. Give them more time. Strictly for the memoriam. Give them more time. Do we really need to see another episode of, whatever that sitcom was that was supposed to be following? Abbott Elementary? Really? You need to see that over the Academy Awards? No, you don't. Even if it's a great series, no. It's one night. Let the Oscars have it. I want to hear the speeches and I want to see the memoriam. One of the things I'm usually not interested in is the songs. And this year, the songs were pretty good. I mean, especially the two Barbie songs, the Ken song and, what am I for? What am I made for? It just, those were very, 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 very good and heartfelt. There were others, some of them singing. Sometimes it just doesn't feel like it's real. It feels, I don't know. It doesn't feel authentic a lot of times in Academy Awards. Yesterday, they felt really good. They felt good. And it was nice to sit through them. So I'm not saying shorten the songs. No. But what I am saying is, know which side your bread is buttered on. And people tune in to hear these great speeches. I also feel like, why don't you put the thank yous to everybody in production, all of these people that they have to list or they worry about their next job, and let them talk from their heart. If you watch the early Academy Awards, they talk about how excited they were that they got the award and what it felt like and when I was a little girl, and a lot like Divine's speech. My mother said, walk across the street, boom. Just those, stories. I want to thank the person who helped me get insured, Robert Downey Jr. These things are special. And we want to hear the Godzilla team trying desperately to speak in our language because it was so important to them. They wrote it down and then they had to read it. Oh my goodness, the struggle. And I was right with him. I kept thinking I wouldn't have minded a Japanese translator because after all, it is a Japanese film. And that's some of the things we like about Godzilla is the Japanese. But I could see that it was very important for that group to speak English. And although he struggled and worked hard, we got the message and we appreciated it. So honestly, so many things to love, just like you said, Joe. So many things to love. But please don't erase the memoriam. You don't need dancers on the side. You don't need, ribbons with people's faces. Just give us a screen and zoom in. Done. And show us everybody. Show us everybody. We want to know everybody. Make time. That's something you make time for. Maybe a little less opening commentary. I'm sorry, Jimmy Kimmel, but if it's you in memoriam, you can say, hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel. Here's our memoriam. Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel. Let's get to the awards. I am fine with that, Jimmy. Same. You should be paid the same, though. Okay? Because it's tough to do what you do. All right? It really is. So I'm not dissing you. But I am saying I don't need that in the front. I don't. And it's between that and the memoriam. I want the memoriam. My opinion. Okay? All right. You meant Al Pacino. Yes, thank you. Robert De Niro presenting Oppenheimer. Wrong Godfather. In any case, wrong all across the board. Okay, thank you, Adam, for checking me. I knew it was different. I just couldn't grab the name up. It's Monday. But yeah, just really not good. Nope. Yeah, across the board, nope. Yeah. I would have liked to see him more awake and more energetic about Oppenheimer. It was like, I guess Oppenheimer wins. What? What'd you say? Speak louder. Yeah, it was weird. It was really weird. Thank you for the fix, Adam. I appreciate it. I'm glad you have my back because it's Monday. Al Pacino, Robert, look, even Joe's got that. Sorry, Joe, you're too late. You weren't fast enough on the button. He wasn't toppling because he was tipsy. No, it sounded like he was tired. God, we always have one, right? Yeah, always got one. Yep. Sometimes you get someone who comes in and, is like, let's see. Let me just get to this. Yes, there we go. Boom. There we go. Bye-bye. All right. Where was I? Joe. Here we are with you, Joe. Just had to ban somebody. Happens, but, Cynthia Erivo is beautiful. She really rocked the bald look. She does. I like the nose ring too, but I can see how it could be distracting. She played Harriet Tubman a couple of years ago and was really impressive. Yes, she's really good, Joe. No. Nose ring? If you want to do it, just don't make it diamonds. Diamonds catch the light, that's their job. So it was like a headlight in the wrong spot. Eyebrow? No, I'm not saying piercings are bad. I'm just saying don't do it when you're going to give a speech because people are watching that. So I felt like that should have been out for the speech. Put it back when you go to the parties if you want. That's fine. Just not for the speech because they got all the lights on you. It was like a headlight, and she is beautiful. So she doesn't need it. Not for the speech. Love Cynthia in Bad Times at El Royale. Awesome. Yes. I don't remember that movie though. Bruce said in Facebook comment a little while ago that the way the in memoriam segment was done is what ABC focus groups are saying they want. Not true. Okay. I think that is corporate speak. All right. I think that's corporate speak. I don't know what it's like for the audience inside the theater. Okay. I just know that outside the theater that they were going to get rid of it. Seriously, they were going to remove it for time because then they could shorten the show or allow more time for the speeches. I understand, but the QR code in the corner didn't work for a lot of people. So I'm just saying it's not you got to come up with something. I don't know what will work, but something's got to get, because last night wasn't cutting it. I don't care what focus group they talked about. I can't imagine that they wanted the toilet paper rolls coming down that you couldn't see the people. I also love the tribute to the stuntmen who need to be rewarded. Well, we always do as SAG people. They get an award on our show. I think stuntmen do too in the Academy Award, actually. But it's not on camera. It's not during the show, which would have been cool if it was during the show. SAG, we do. In fact, the winner was Mission Impossible this year for the SAG Award, the stunt team. Yeah, won for. Yeah, we get it because they deserve it. Absolutely, they do. They're crazy. Adrenaline junkies, aren't they? Woo! Especially in Mission Impossible and John Wick. Whoa. Also, Fast and Furious. Man, those guys are crazy. Yep. Deserve everything. Yeah, absolutely. Adam Roberson, she was terrific in that, wasn't she? See, Joe's with you, man. He's connecting. There we go. Good. Thank you. Wow. Forget the haters. Yes. Screw the haters. Yeah. Well, the one that was kind of creepy, he's gone. I like that. I like being able to use my laser eyes. Zappo, you're out. I know y'all have my back. I know you got me. Yeah, so that's why you didn't see that last one, Adam, because I just zapped that boy. Sorry you had to deal with that, Terry. I didn't see it because I zapped him off the first one. Yeah, I immediately said, bye-bye, baby. You're here to hurt. Goodbye. Yep. See ya. I don't even know why they had Pacino presenting the best. They should have had Chris Rock for the next 5 or 10 years. Oh, there you go, Joe. Yeah. Oh, I don't know if they'll bring Chris Rock back. You know, the one thing about Chris Rock is he is he is a guy who stirs the embers. That's what I'm going to say. I think his comedy is an ember stirrer, kind of like Don Rickles. Don Rickles was always known as someone who would stir the embers, you know. He'd roast you a little bit no matter who you were. And I think Chris is along those lines, not as much. I mean, Don Rickles really stirred him. But so I guess the Academy is, you know, thinking to themselves, maybe not have a ember stirrer at the Academy Awards, because you never know how a person is going to react to certain jokes, you know. Sometimes a joke can be funny and sometimes a joke can be hurtful, and you don't really know till it comes out of your mouth sometimes, you know. So for example, I don't like teasing. I don't like, I mean, you know, if you say one little tease thing and then you tease back and you're done, you know. We have a wonderful young man. There's lots of young, wonderful people in the tribe who like to kind of tease, and I tease back, but I try to be gentle about it. I've made it very clear to the tribe that if I tease you and it seems mean, you let me know, because that is never my intention. But I try not to tease simply because it can go south. You know, if you have that teasing banter back and forth, it's funny, you know, your court funny, my court funny, your court funny, my court funny, your court. Wait a minute, what happened? And the next thing you know, it gets sharp. So I'm not someone who likes the teasing, because sometimes it can then be barbs that aren't teasing. Well, and you know, and so I really don't like it. And I don't want, you know, I don't want that to be in my relationship. You know, my husband is amazing and magical, and teasing, just I watch people tease each other, and I am concerned for them, because I don't want it to go south. I fear, if that's a fear I have, it's watching it go south when it was funny for about a minute and then all of a sudden it goes dark and they're angry at each other. Teasing can do that. It has that road, you know? So yeah. But if it's your business, you should know that that's the way, like Don Rickles, everyone knew Don Rickles was a teaser, a roaster. He would roast people, you know. You can't fault someone for who they are and what they do if you know it, you know. If it comes out of the blue, okay, hey, wait a minute. why are you attacking me, right? But if you know that that's kind of their MO, then you kind of live with it or change the channel, right? Step away from the group. Yeah. Joe says, if you don't know who Bruce Valance is, he's a comedy writer who had worked on several Oscar broadcasts. Thank you, because I didn't. I never mind saying when I don't know. I don't know. Lindsay will name editors and he'll name directors sometimes, and I'll go, what did they do again? Who was that again? Poor Evan. He'll tell me a star that he's met, and I'll go, what did they do? So you'll have to forgive me. I know people by their character, by their faces, by their personality, body of work often. The guy who played the is kind of me. Oh, I love the guy who played the, you know, that's more me, you know. In what is it, Lessons in Chemistry, the guy who plays the husband, that's me. The guy who played the husband, you know. Or I love the guys, I'm a huge Margaret O'Brien fan. The guys that were in the actor, this, I just described this to my husband yesterday. The actor who was the lead opposite Margaret O'Brien in the movie where she carries the bomb. It's not a real bomb. It's in place of a doll. She holds a bomb, right? And I couldn't remember the name of the movie, nor could I remember the actor playing opposite her. I thought it was a different actor, and I named that actor, and my husband started to look through to see if he could find it through there. And then all of a sudden, he instead Googled Margaret O'Brien and saw that she had been acting opposite a particular person over and over again. He went, maybe it's this one, and we found that movie. It's a movie that I really didn't know existed with Margaret O'Brien. I am a huge fan of hers as a little girl. When everybody was watching the tap dancing of Shirley Temple, I was watching Margaret O'Brien. I just love her performances in mostly anything and everything she does, except for, and it's not her fault, Lindsay my husband put together a Margaret O'Brien playlist, and he asked me if I wanted Meet Me in St. Louis, and I said no. Can you guess why? Musical. It's a musical that features Judy Garland, which I love. Wizard of Oz. I should have said Wizard of Oz too. It's a musical I like, and I love her in it. I love everything about Wizard of Oz, actually. But Judy Garland is the feature in that, and I wanted movies that featured Margaret O'Brien, even though she's adorable in Meet Me in St. Louis. No, it wasn't one that I wanted. It wasn't one of my favorites. So I asked for this movie, and I asked for Our Vines Have Tender Grapes, which I love. It's got surrounded. See, the nice thing is Margaret is surrounded by great actors as well. So it's really fun to watch her act as the main, and then the actors around it. Secret Garden's another one I love because it's scary in the beginning and then kind of fun at the end. 10th Avenue Angel, which I hadn't seen until just about maybe 7 years ago. Turner Classic Movies, dug it up and found it. And I was like, I don't think I've seen this one. And I absolutely fell in love with it. Made me cry at the end. Margaret often makes me cry because she's so good. So Margaret O'Brien is a big one for me. Yeah, Margaret O'Brien is like, you know, Lindsay goes, what other ones? Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger needs a playlist. Okay. And it's movies that you would all go, ugh, you know, poor Arnold, you know, it's like Conan. I love him in Conan. Commando, which makes my husband cringe at Commando and Raw Deal. Love those movies. In Raw Deal, I like more than what Schwarzenegger plays. He has a girl that's opposite him. He's undercover and he works opposite this girl who takes her dress off in the middle of a restaurant. I just love her. She is so ballsy. I love her. So Raw Deal, Commando, that's for the back shots. And Conan, because I just think Conan is amazing. It's got Mako in it too. I mean, why not? And then I asked him for Predator, which we got. And I think, what is it? Is it True Lies with him and Jamie Lee? That one is amazing. So we need to have that one. I thought Twins was cute, but not. I think Kindergarten Cop is fun. So I want a Schwarzenegger playlist. I also have a Greer Garson playlist because I adore her. Betty Davis is one of the obvious ones that I have a playlist. But I have these playlists that I like that I can just put the movie on, and then it's just my little film festival of them. That's what I like. And I know most of them up here, just not, by name. The other day I forgot Lauren Bacall and I met her at a bar. My car broke down and I walked into a bar and she was at the end of the bar. Can you believe that? There she was. I didn't recognize her by face, but I sure recognized her by voice, and I had to go say hello because, it's her, so, whew, yeah, that was an electrical moment. Yeah. Hey, Terry, Ernie Anderson was a great ABC. Ernie Anderson was a great ABC announcer. We had some good ABC announcers. Yeah. I don't know if I wanted to see him in the hall fighting the people who had parade float dresses. But yeah, good. Jimmy Kimmel teased Robert Downey Jr. about his earlier drug use, and RDJ played right along with him. Nice to see it didn't take himself too seriously. Well, he hasn't. He did before when he was in the mess, but now he's so open. That's why I really appreciate him, because people who are struggling can see that people like Robert did. It's not all the catbird seat being where they are, doing what they do. They go through things like we go through. It's not all perfect. Mike Pruitt, the Love Boat. Joe, you're getting in the game. You're so cute. Don Rickles was so hilarious in his lifetime, but no matter what, he will always be Mr. Potato Head to me. And he gave that character such depth in Toy Story. Adam, and he still had that sharp, right? He still had that sharp tease. And then I loved the woman, here I go, the woman who played his wife, Mrs. Potato Head. I thought as Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, they should have their own series. They were so fun. Little bits with the two of them. When his stuff popped out, like, oh, Toy Story's got some great bits, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Adam, you're so right. You should never. I can't even do it. I'm sorry, Joe. Yeah, not my thing. I'll trust you. Others get that right. Read it for him because I like him. Joe. Speaking of Arnold, wasn't he and Danny DeVito great presenting? Yes, they were adorable. Well, and the thing is with Arnold, it was like, do you see how he kind of like put his arm like dip to put around little Danny DeVito? I actually like the bit that they did about how did you die? How did Batman get you? I thought he threw me out a window, Oh, there he is now. I just thought there was some good stuff in there. They did some good stuff last night. It was a fun show to watch. For me, anyway. I thought they were darling. Everyone I think of Kindergarten Cop, all I think is shut up. I think the little boy, when he's afraid, he does one of the most amazing faces in Kindergarten Cop when he does that kind of like, Child Lamaze or something. Just watching him go like this when he's afraid and he's hiding from the crazy guy, his dad. Wow. Just, he does that really scared face and really believable. I'm terrified like he's terrified. So Kindergarten Cop's got some great stuff, including a really nice ferret. Love that ferret. But yeah, great stuff in that. Really great stuff. He's like, are you kidding me? And the actress in that is really good. You're going to have to do it because I have a code. You can do it. Adorable. The great cast in that Kindergarten Cop. So yeah, as I talk to you, thank you, because I was trying to think of what other Schwarzeneggers I wanted. And also we're building the Margaret O'Brien playlist, and I want that to be extensive. Just I'm very particular. I had to really work hard for Three Wise Fools, though. That is not available, readily available. So I had to work hard to get three wise fools, and I'm grateful that I found three wise fools. Um, but I had to dig for it. I had to go out on a mission to get that one, and my husband and I found it, and I'm waiting for it to arrive, and I'm so happy because that one is very, very special. If you haven't seen Margaret O'Brien films, it's a definite go see it. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. See Margaret O'Brien at her best. She could cry on cue as a little girl. All you had to do was say, "This scene takes crying," and she would cry. In the Journey for Margaret, I think is the name of the one with the bomb. She has to cry. There's a sequence where she's afraid, and she keeps doing this with her eyes, and nobody asks her why, except for when she gets in the scene where we're there, and she says, "Do you need to cry?" And it's a scene where she goes from just terror to all in crying, and the camera stays on her face. So this young actress was phenomenal. I had the pleasure of meeting her and asking her on that time, why doesn't Turner Classic Movies do a Margaret O'Brien Day? And she says, I don't know. Why don't you have a box set of Margaret O'Brien films? She says, I don't know. I said to her that, she was and is my favorite child actress. I adore her. And I can't get enough of that sweet, amazing, phenomenal, sassy kid. She's just great. She's just amazing. You want to see someone really chew up black and white? Margaret O'Brien. Yep. Michael Keaton was so funny when he reacted to the two villains. Michael Keaton was just fun. It's nice to see someone get funner with age. I felt the same way with Jack Nicholson. Did not like early Jack Nicholson films. My husband loves Chinatown, and I'm kind of on the fence about Chinatown. Even though it was great, got lots of Academy Awards. Just not my cup of tea, but I love As Good as It Gets. As Good as It Gets and Something's Gotta Give. Oh, he's just such a joy to watch in both those films that I really like him as, he's like a fine wine, proving with age. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Adam Robinson, I love that he never broke character all the time the camera was on him. Total professional, yes. But they love that. This is where we play. As actors, we play in that water, right? Never breaking character. That's the fun part. Sometimes other actors will go, really? Stop. Please stop. But sometimes as an actor, you need to stay in that zone simply to keep a hold of a character that's very important to do. So sometimes when you do characters like that, and then I just heard from a young lady who said that she was I don't want to say psychiatrist, but someone like a psychologist or someone who helps actors who play those deep, dark villains. Like they portray the really scary villains like Jeffrey Dahmer or people like that, where they're so dark that sometimes the actor can't shake loose of the skin once they put it on, And so they are there to help the actor kind of get back to where they were, because sometimes they take it on just a bit too much and it's hard to shake it loose. So they actually have a profession where this psychologist person helps them get through, psychiatrist person, whoever, I can't remember the title of the job, but it's there to help people who play super, 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 super dark villains, dark. So give me 1 second. Lori, I'm broadcasting. Can I call you right back? Okay. No worries. No worries. Bye. Real estate agent. Lori, she made it on the camera. There you go. Anyway, I just told her I'd call her back. But yeah, this is what they do is they put on the overcoat of the character they're playing, you know. And so that's why I mentioned earlier about Rustin. I thought it was great. My sister didn't like the movie. I loved the movie. I thought I hadn't heard of him. You know, my parents being mixed, my parents would I mean, you know, if we talk about Barbie and Ken, my parents wouldn't allow me to have a Ken doll till I was like 16 or 17 for obvious reasons. And if the reason isn't obvious, I'll tell you later. I'm not going to tell you now. But but they're also very, you know, they were very weren't super open about certain things in my life. I was very guarded as a young child. And so Rustin and his and who he was and what he had to work with and deal with back in the day. I don't see my family as openly sharing this particular figure with me when I was young, just afraid of me being confused, maybe. But it was the only movie that made me buy the book because I wanted to learn more. And I think a movie wins when they do that. So I thought this movie was amazing. I love this movie, and I thought it was excellent. So there you go. John Chester, hey, yes, John, I am so glad you joined us because you must have really enjoyed. Did you get to see? I thought of you because did you get to see The Last Repair Shop? I thought of you immediately when I saw the Last Repair Shop. It's on Disney Plus. And it won last night in its category, which was a documentary short. If you haven't seen it, you got to see it. It's you, music, and it interviews people, young people in the school district. Turns out we're one of the few school districts that give free instruments, which is good because I probably have a violin or two here I could donate. I know who to donate it to now. In any case, I thought of you immediately when I saw that film. I love that documentary short. It's called. It was good, so good. I watched it twice. Yes, and thought of you, John Chester, music therapist. You are. Thought of you immediately. Sounds like a therapist. Yeah, like a therapist, but it's a special name because they specialize in pulling actors out of these dark places. So that sounds like a fun job, doesn't it? Wow. Hey, yes. You. No, you didn't see it? You didn't watch it? Let's see. I'll look it up. Okay. So, John, you got to see this. This is The Last Repair Shop. Right now, I mean, it's on Disney Plus, but if you can't find it on Disney Plus, I'm sure there's another way you can view it. But The Last Repair Shop, now that it has won an Academy Award, I am hoping, because what often happens is it opens these films up to other people to see. Okay. And so this one won, and it's brilliant, and you will love it because it's got you all over it. Yeah. So I'm so glad you popped in today. So glad you did. Such a good short, says Adam. Yeah. It's you, man. It's you. It's your coat. You're gonna go nuts over it, and then write me and tell me how you went nuts over it, even though I'm gonna hear you after it's done. This is you all over. This is you, man. It's amazing. So you're welcome. You're absolutely 110% welcome. The Last Repair Shop. Yeah. The Last Repair Shop. It's so good. It's so good, isn't it, Adam? Yeah, it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. I know you will. It's just very special. When I saw it, and I came across it because I have this thing about seeing every Academy nominated thing, which is why I feel that the animated short subject, John and Yoko, War is Over, was not the best one. I saw them all, and I really liked 95 Senses. Hit me like a thunderbolt. If you can see 95 Senses, you got to see it. There's an app you can get on the Roku channel if you have it, called Docs, I think, and it's on there. Oh, it's so good. So good. I think also I could be wrong, Letter to a Pig is on there, also really good. They're all good. They're all good. The weakest one is the one that was voted that won last night. That's the weakest. And I think a lot of people just got a bit overwhelmed and couldn't vote for them all, couldn't watch them all. So they said, ooh, John, Yoko, good, check. That happens when you have an overindulgence of movies and you find yourself busy. You try to say, what do you think will win? And you check it like that. I hate to say it, but it's true. Well, guys, we went for almost 2 hours today. Thank you very much. It's Monday. I got to get going. I got adult stuff, as you heard from my real estate agent. She's probably reaching out to say, have I checked my email? But I love you guys. I will see you Friday. Do something nice for someone else. It will make you feel a whole lot better. Thank you for sharing with me today. Thank you for your heart and your warmth and your love and your just specialness across the board, being fabulous as usual. I really am grateful. Mwah! I will see you soon. See you Friday. Have a great week. I will do my best. Don't forget to get those taxes in.